This is our presentation on the aquatic pearl by Allison, Emma, Andre, and Cassidy. The aquatic pearl's scientific name is Heterandria AquaticPearlFinal, and the aquatic pearl lives on the continental shelf of the ocean. The physical appearance of the aquatic pearl, it is meant to look like a pearl, so it's very shiny and colored pearl white, sometimes yellowish. It looks very ovicular in shape and appears rounded like a pearl. It has a tail that can be curled or retracted into its body. It has a 4-part skeleton, a skull, spine, tailbones, and harpoon bone. The spine is made up of 46 small vertebrae that make it extremely flexible, and the muscles in the aquatic pearl allow the tail to move up and down rather than side to side. This means that the tail is a horizontal tail rather than a vertical tail like most fish have. This is a picture of the aquatic pearl. You can see the inner gills, which is near the front under the eye, the dark shaded area that will be talked about later. There's the harpoon bone previously mentioned, and the horizontal and retractable tail at the end. In the top right corner is an image of an actual pearl, and so you can look at that and compare the aquatic pearl to an actual pearl. They look very similar in coloring, and this allows the aquatic pearl to appear as a pearl. It has 2 defense mechanisms, a passive and aggressive defense mechanism. The more passive defense mechanism allows the aquatic pearl to turn into a rock-like form. It curls its tail to its stomach, and the pearl color helps it appear as a pearl so that bigger fish don't try to eat it. It has a more aggressive defense mechanism, which is its harpoon bone. It can be shot off to scare predators, but if that doesn't work, it can also be used to attack predators. So the developmental process, the aquatic pearl is split into 3 different age groups: baby, adolescence, and adulthood. It looks the same for most of its life and has no major changes, only small gradual ones. The aquatic pearl starts as a baby about 3 inches in length, 4 inches in width, and 5 inches in height. By the time it reaches adulthood, it has doubled in size, and its adult size allows it to eat small fish and shrimp. The aquatic pearl can use its rock-like defense mechanism, so the ability to look like a pearl, for all of its life, but they have to wait until they are fully grown to use the harpoon bone.
I will be discussing how the aquatic pearl obtains food. The aquatic pearl opens its mouth very wide and swims by small aquatic animals. This requires the creature almost no skill to obtain its food. The aquatic pearl eats almost anything that lives in the continental shelf of the ocean. They eat shrimp, small fish, and even eels. Since the aquatic pearl generally eats small organisms, it must eat a lot of these things in order to be full and grow. The aquatic pearl's reproductive system. The females produce eggs, and the males must fertilize those eggs. The egg stays inside the mother until they're born, which is very unique to aquatic creatures in the ocean. The mother can reproduce 1 organism at a time, but is able to reproduce at a rapid rate. The organism is in the mother for 4 to 6 weeks before it is born, and the mother can become pregnant immediately after that. This means a mother could have up to 10 babies a year.
The Atlantic pearl is covered with scales that have a shiny white, sometimes yellow color. The most distinctive feature of the Atlantic pearl is the harpoon bone sticking out of his chest, used to hunt its prey. His greatest adaptation to the environment is being cold-blooded in The Atlantic pearl uses its unique inner gills. With gill edges to breathe, it takes water in from its mouth and discharges it into the environment during exhalation. Wasted products of metabolism are excreted in various ways. The gills excrete carbon dioxide and are also involved in the excretion of nitrogenous substances and excess ions. Waste compounds such as hemoglobin breakdown products are excreted by the digestive tract and leave the body. The kidneys have specialized excretory function, removing harmful substances from the blood and nitrogenous substances in the form of urine.
The aquatic pearl does a good job of coping with changes in its environment. When dealing with other organisms, the aquatic pearl separates them into two different categories, which are food or predator. If the organism is smaller than the aquatic pearl, it is categorized as food and it can just be eaten. If the organism is larger, it is a predator, and one of the two defense mechanisms that the aquatic pearl has will be used. It'll either retract its tail and appear as a rock on the bottom of the continental shelf, or it will stick out its harpoon bone in attempts to scare the predator away. It's also good at adapting to the temperatures of the water around it. It lives on the continental shelf, so the weather stays fairly warm, but the aquatic pearl is cold-blooded, and in the winter when the water temperatures drop just a little bit, the antifreeze glycerol that's inside the aquatic pearl helps it to stay warm. Finally, there's a limited amount of food on the continental shelf where the aquatic pearl lives, so it's able to go to the continental slope, which is just a short distance away, and find more food resources and then return to its normal home after it's done finding food.